What's up, what's up? Welcome to North Lake Survivors. I'm Jonathan.
Zelda.
And we have a guest today.
Nino, nice to meet y'all.
Alright. You want to tell them about yourself? Or?
Yeah, so I met Jonathan and Liz about the same exact time, roughly 3 years ago, I want to say, right? Something like that.
Oh,
yeah. Zelda is my wife, and she also pregnant, got a baby on the way.
I think it's the first time we've even mentioned that on the pod.
I'm very happy about it. I would talk about it all the time. And so literally our first date, me and Zelda went out, was the day before New Year's Eve. And the next day, she was like, hey, we can hang out again. And I was like, cool. What time are you going to come over? And she said, like, I don't know, when everyone leaves at 4 a.m. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not coming over at 4 a.m. I'm going to come over. And she was like, well, do you want to come over, like, now and meet my friends? And I was like, yeah, that's kind of the idea.
What?
And so she asked all her friends, and they said, yeah, go for it.
She asked us, and me and Ashley were just like, it's your house.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
why are you asking us?
Because, like, who do you date and they want to meet your friends, like, right away?
Yeah, so...
I don't know, it's weird.
To be fair, though, Billy, I met him, like, I think they went on one day, and then she brought him to her dad's house with me and Nick.
Wow.
And Josh, so...
Okay.
It's not that weird.
I don't know, I thought it was weird, because this never happened before to me, so...
And look, now you're married, so it worked out. It was the right call.
It was.
Yeah. I'll say it was 9 months later exactly that I had proposed. Because it was on her birthday, and her birthday in September, so.
I remember I was at Comic-Con, and you texted me, like, I'm going to propose on her birthday. Here's the plan.
And I will say, now that it's all done, we're married, everything like that, one, proposals are not as easy as they look in the movies, all right? Especially when you want to plan something special. It's a little nerve-wracking, and not everything goes as planned. Two, I gave every single person who went with us the plan and what their job was. And when we got there, everyone acted like they were just fucking hanging out. Not a single person was ready and on the ball.
No.
My sister was there. I told her, hey, I need you to distract her and position her away from me, like her back to me, so she doesn't see me get down on one knee when she turns around for any photo opportunity.
Everyone seems
sit here, do this. Well, my sister goes and she sits next to a fountain. Am I supposed to jump in the fountain? I don't know. And then, of course, my other friends who were supposed to be there and be like emotional support, they're just complaining. It's hot. It was. We were all sweating.
Really
we
hot.
left immediately after I got done.
It was so hot.
And took some photos. And then when it did start happening, literally they were like, oh shit, he's doing it. Like, what do you mean? The whole reason we're here is because I'm getting to do this. The second you saw me get down or say something, like...
And I was taking pictures, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to film this. And then I just switch it over to video real quick.
And Jonathan's the best one of the group. That's something. And then, of course, the reaction isn't always what you expect either.
Well, I do love that you were proposing, because she was looking the other way.
I'm proposing to her, giving her my heart, I'm down, and she goes like this, and she just looks over to her friends. She's not happy, she's not like jumping up and down, she's not crying in emotional excitement.
I was blindsided,
She just...
I didn't know what... I was like, what?
And so I'm like, what we got here? So yeah.
I think I was like,
Yeah, so we actually retook some of those photos.
Yeah, we were thinking, but they came out good.
Yes, and that's our cat Benny. He's very chatty. He wants to be part of the group, but he's too afraid to show his face.
If you watch the Hot One video, he plays some piano for us.
He played very good piano.
Yeah, we're still coming down off that.
I'm still dying.
Yeah, because I need to finish every wing.
But I did it.
I believe you finished every wing.
You can say whatever you want about me. I didn't. I did finish the last dab, though. I finished the last dab.
You
It
did.
was a huge dab.
After we were done, Zelda tried the first, 6, right?
Yeah, the 6 one.
Or you tried
No,
7.
she did the first 6. The 7th one she spit out. She was like, it's too hot.
I put it in my mouth. I
like chewed for like a
spit it out.
second.
I was like,
Had to get rid of
I
it.
feel it. No,
Yeah.
I immediately spit that one out.
So if you weren't pregnant, would you ever try that?
Yeah, I would try it.
All the way to 10?
I want to try the bomb because I saw you guys' reaction.
I don't think I want you to try the bomb, like for your safety. Like, yeah, I love you too much.
I don't think she would die. I kind of want to see it.
I wouldn't take a big
But
bite.
you-
It's just like it'll be like a finger lick.
I think a bite would be better than a sauce lick.
Yeah, definitely.
Why
Because
not
the
do
chicken would cushion some of that.
Oh, okay, then maybe like a.
If you're just eating the sauce straight,
Okay.
yeah,
Maybe
you don't
just
want
a
that.
bite, maybe like a tiny bite. Because I don't know, like after your reactions, I want to see what it tastes like eventually.
No, it is an experience. That's
Well,
for
definitely shave some years off your life. Oh, but that was fun.
Yeah.
But and then you guys got married. You had a beautiful wedding. Yeah, you had this thing. I'm not gonna see it in the camera, but
Oh yeah,
Sure.
the hourglass.
I really
Yeah.
thought that was cool. You guys
Yeah.
poured it in together. It's a mix of colors.
The what do you call him? The guy who officiates.
The aficionado.
He like suggested that. He said we can do a candle. They have different things they do. They do a unity candle. Some people jump the broom.
Yeah.
I wanted to stamp on the glass. But
She
he
wanted
said
to
we're
do a
not
Jewish-
I was like, is that a Jewish thing?
Yeah, she wanted to do
He's
a
like, we're
Jewish
not
tradition,
Jewish,
and
I
I
know what
shot it down.
I was like, so what if we're not Jewish?
You're Christian, right? Or raised Catholic, right? Or
I was raised Christian, yeah. I don't think there was any specific denomination. Like Catholic was like what it was,
What it
but
was.
it wasn't always
so
a Catholic.
vaguely
church.
raised Christian.
Yep.
You were raised Muslim, and you
Yeah.
wanted a Jewish wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a Jewish wedding.
She just wanted to break some glass.
I just wanted to break the glass and be like, Mazel tov.
You got a rabbi come in, marry you.
Yeah, you can see the color is kind of like a pinkish, orangey kind of
Yeah.
color.
Wasn't it two different colors?
Yeah,
It
we
was.
had pink and lime green.
Yeah, it was originally lime green in there. I don't know how.
Did you pick the colors? Or?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
picked the
picked
colors
it.
ourselves because they kind of represented our personalities.
Okay.
And then we open up the top.
How did
And
this
then
come from green?
It mixes in,
Yeah.
and then it mixes together and
weird,
creates
right?
this color. So it's two individuals coming together and
You
creating
can kind
a
of
new.
see the green if you look like really close.
Oh
to
yeah,
it.
I guess you can see the speckles
Yeah,
in
the
there.
specks.
But the pink definitely takes
The
over,
pink
and like the green and the
definitely-
pink kind of turned
It
into
kind
this
of turned
peachy
into
color.
like,
Peachy
yeah.
color.
like
Hey, it was beautiful. I love that you guys did that.
And we had fun doing it too. We were laughing.
Yeah. I was like, no, don't put too much pink. Put more green.
We did the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys had a beautiful wedding ceremony.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was worth it. I will say,
Yeah.
like
A bunch of people came in late, but besides
Yeah.
that,
banging on the door.
including McKinney Robot.
Did they come in late too?
They came in late too,
I don't know why they didn't leave the door open for them.
Because the whole point was that the door is shut once the ceremony starts. And
'Cause they
anybody
didn't-
who's late
Yeah.
comes in after we're done with the walking and all that.
While you
Yeah,
guys are
but
doing
I
your
feel
vows
like-
and all that, they didn't want a bunch of people walking.
I
in.
feel like it's way too hot to let people stay outside.
But also, they didn't take into account that, well, I don't look at, my family's Mexican and her family's Indian, and we don't run on regular people time.
Yeah, they
So,
don't. They're always late.
We run on our own time.
So.
And it was a bit of a drive. Like I even got there a little bit after I was supposed to. And
the
I'm normally
area that
early
it
to
was
places.
There
was
was,
a high
there was
traffic
well,
area.
there was construction too, right?
Yeah.
I think there was construction. We didn't know about that at the time, of course.
Yeah.
Because it took me longer than I thought it was going to take me to get there. So
Yeah.
Obviously, we got there as soon as the doors opened up to prep and everything.
yeah.
But the area
yeah.
was really, it was a lot of construction.
I will say this too: you never know. You have expectations from the wedding, but it's never what you think you're gonna get. Like for me personally, I was like, I don't really care about the ceremony. I just want to pop off at the reception and have drinks with my bros and family and everybody, and just dance and have fun. And then I ended up loving the ceremony more than anything. Like I was emotional. I was like holding back tears when she was walking in. Like I loved every piece of it. It was great.
The reception was fun, but I enjoyed the pool after the reception. Like when we all came back
The
in,
after
had some
party.
Yeah,
drinks.
that
Yeah,
was
the after
fun.
party was where it was at.
I wasn't expecting everybody to come over. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I was like, I have to leave first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I should go. And I was like, this
Like
is
some
fun.
of my cousins, like
Yeah, but you're
you
hanging out
went
with my
to,
sister.
like
Well,
you,
that's true. Yeah. Oh, that
you
is
guys
true.
passed out. And my cousins were still here till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wanted to go to sleep, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, that's the part where you hit him with the Midwest welp, and then you stand up.
Might have been why I stayed so long. Yeah.
That's the patented way to. I'm from Michigan, so that's the way to do it. When you think about time and you're ready to go, you just. Well, and you stand up, and that's kind of their cue, like, hey, you've overstayed your welcome a little bit. It's time to go.
Even your sister was already passed out on the couch, and they were still here talking.
How much later did they stay after I left?
Because I think my uncle came over like at 4 o'clock. Or
He came over?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, because all the adults.
Yeah.
I want to say adults were like almost 40, but
Yeah.
they were across the street.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
all the adults, all of the older generation.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. 'Cause
They were across the street.
at this point, I can't really be
Yeah.
like, I'm not an adult, I'm the kid.
Yeah.
What, man? Why are you screaming?
You hungry?
I think he just wants to be part of the show.
But yeah, your dad and everybody was just across the street.
Yeah. So I guess they were hanging out, and then my uncle, like, they came over like around 3 o'clock with my other cousins who were out from out of town.
They were fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
This is Danny. He's very scared, but I picked him up. He's actually purring weirdly enough.
Hi, handsome.
He meows a lot. Then
Yeah, he's very chatty. He likes
like
to talk
he'll
to you.
meow and you
Baby.
don't know what he wants, and then you'll try to pet him, and then he runs away.
So he doesn't do what Goliath does, which is when he wants something, he just gives me a dirty look. And then I'm supposed to take from that what he wants.
Yeah.
He'll just glare at me. Or like if he eats all his greens and he wants more, he'll crawl over to his bowl
Mhm.
and then he'll just stare at me until I notice him.
Aw.
Because he doesn't make any sounds.
Yeah.
So he just gives me looks and I'm like, okay, let me go get you somewhere.
Okay.
Oh man. But yeah, it was a beautiful wedding.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man. Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
So you're a movie guy too.
Yep, very much so.
You got her going to the movies because she's never.
Yeah. Which, by the way, anybody who watches this, they've been best friends for
Half our
over a
lives.
decade.
Yeah, like 20 years.
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years.
Mhm.
She didn't watch movies before we got
We
together.
used to skip class and watch YouTube videos all the time.
We did do that. She actually got me into YouTube. I never really was
Ryan
YouTube.
but-
Hida.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name.
She was like, have you seen How to Be Ninja? And then she showed me this video and I was like, this is genius.
But yeah,
To
so
be fair, I don't know if she told you, like, so when we first started hanging out, our first semester that we were friends, it was me, her, and then our friend Lucy.
Mhm.
And we would skip almost every class.
Mhm.
And that semester ended with, I think, Lucy being on academic suspension.
Yeah.
You got on probation.
Yeah.
I got all A's and B's.
Yeah.
it's because somebody skipped and still did the work. You skipped and then
Yeah.
decided, well, didn't go to class, can't do anything about it.
I'm really bad at reading, and I think I told you what happened
Period.
when I was filling out the FAFSA.
Oh my
You
god.
did, yeah, you just told me that yesterday.
Yeah.
I literally was like, are you sure they didn't ask you for any financial information? Because like they pulled my tax records where they're asking me about assets.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? No, it's
You
just
thought
child-
FAFSA didn't ask you any information?
I read the child
The
support.
very first line is like whatever child support. If
Yeah.
you owe any or do you receive
And
any
I was
child
like,
support.
oh, I don't have child support. I
And then
don't
she
have
put
any
zeros for
taxes.
every other question.
And I didn't read everything after
you
that.
think you don't have assets?
Yeah.
What is this?
They tell you don't list your house though. I
Oh,
did.
they did.
They
so
do
don't
say
ask
that,
us.
but
You have a car.
But they do ask you like how much is in your checking, how much is in your savings, do you have any like CDs, stocks, bonds? They ask you those things.
Oh.
Like how much total do you have for each of these categories? And she
Well,
was like
I don't
zero,
think you have any
zero,
stocks
zero.
or bonds.
What I
She
did
has
was,
CDs.
Oh, you do?
I do have a CD. But
Way
what
more
I,
responsible than I am.
what I did was I read the first line and I completely ignored everything else after that.
I'm confused. Why would a house not count as an asset?
It does, but they don't count it towards because you're paying like the mortgage on it,
Oh,
I'm assuming,
okay.
and stuff like that. So it's not like it's not income based assets,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Like
Okay.
Yeah, because we're still paying.
yeah, it says don't list your house. So
So what about your car? You list that or?
I don't know. That's a good question.
My
I mean,
car's paid off. Is that something that?
I mean, it's an asset because it's
You could use it for collateral.
Yeah,
That's why I'm like,
yeah.
it would be an asset.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, they asked you those questions, and I'm like, I filled my part out, and I was like, they didn't ask you these? And she was like, no, it's just about child support. And I was like, no, it's not. They literally ask you how much is in your savings account.
Yeah.
I would assume too you make too much money for FAFSA. Like, what are you like?
Well, that's what I told her, is that she definitely does, but She's like, well, it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, it doesn't
And I'm
hurt.
like,
Well, that's when you commit fraud.
that's what I said. I was like, you need to edit that because that's fraud. That's literally my words.
When he was filling it out, I was like, oh shit, ask all that.
It doesn't hurt to try until you lie to the government. I mean,
And this is why when people ask her to sign up for anything, I tell her, let me ask my husband. And it sounds misogynistic, but I promise you it's not. It's actually in our best
I
interest.
will not. I'll sign something without reading it. I'll do something without reading
She'll
it.
be like, oh, I just signed here, and now our house is gone. So.
I've known her forever. She's far too trusting.
Yeah, like the life insurance thing.
Yeah, mind you,
For life insurance.
that policy was really good if you're a millionaire.
Yeah, because what it was $1,200 a month, $1,400 a month.
Yeah, it was
It was
essentially.
insane.
Yeah,
Like
it
they
was
took
the
out
same
that
process.
first
And you were
thing.
gonna do that?
I
Well,
signed
she
up
did-
without reading,
Yeah,
and
she
then they
gave
took out
him
the
social-
first thing, and I was like, oh
Why?
shit.
Why? If you're gonna be paying a bill, why are you not reading what you're
I
signing?
didn't know what I was gonna pay.
It was a coworker
It was a
who was
coworker.
signing her up,
Yeah.
and he kept talking about like, I have a way you can get your
Well,
money
that's a
back.
shitty coworker.
Yeah,
Because the way it
locked in.
worked was, it's a life insurance policy at its base,
Mhm.
but the money you put in each month, which is going to be $1,200, doesn't go towards like your premiums. What it does is it goes into an investment account, and that investment account accrues interest. So basically, what you're doing is you're putting money into a life insurance policy
That's gonna be a retirement
the retirement fund.
But do you have an extra?
And that's the thing is that like, while she could do it, maybe right, it's so much money.
It's so much.
You know what I
It's
mean?
an extra mortgage.
Especially with a baby on the way.
That's
You
like
know how
two, that's
expensive
like
babies
two,
are?
That's 2 mortgages right there.
Yeah, we could put a down payment on another house or something.
Yeah.
Well, not on this market.
But somebody was like, if someone offered you $1 million, like, how happy would you be? I'm like, I'd be extremely happy, but I'll be realistic that I couldn't even buy a house. I couldn't like pay off a house in Plano.
To be fair, there's a house by my apartment. It's only $3 million, and it's like,
million.
in this economy, that's not too bad. And it's like the Adams family house,
Yeah, but it's by your apartments.
but it's the Adams family house.
That's pretty
That's all I
cool.
care about is that it's dark, gothic.
You can
Looks
make, you
haunted.
can make any house an Adams
Is
family
it
house.
abandoned?
No, but it has a. It
It's
has
for sale. So
It's for
technically-
sale. Like I said, somebody owns it,
So we can go ghost hunting.
and the thing is like 20 acres.
We can go ghost hunting. I want to go ghost hunting.
I don't
Go to my
like
base.
ghost hunting too. You don't like ghost hunting?
I want to go ghost hunting.
You know
Let
what
me walk
ghosts-
around
I want to
and
buy.
listen for creaks in an old house.
No, I want to buy. We should
Whoa!
buy a Ouija board and go into the house and just like.
Let's go fuck up our lives just in case it's real.
I wanna
If this
see
is
it.
real, we're gonna fuck our shit up. That's all I'm
Well, at
saying.
least we'll know. We'll get to talk to the people on the other side.
Yeah, and then they're gonna come back with us because we're
They
not
do.
gonna
They
shut
do
the
say
door.
that they stick on you and go with you.
If you don't do whatever properly.
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool.
We already had ghosts in this house. I firmly believe someone was murdered here, and that is why the previous owners left, and they sold the
left
house
all
for so
their
cheap.
yeah.
And
They left
like,
all
so
their
much stuff here.
furniture. They left their piano.
They left. I'm talking. They left a whole piano.
Yeah.
They left like a full surround sound system, security system. They left like couch furniture, bed, just tons and tons of stuff. They left so much stuff. They sold the house extremely under market.
I thought that was because they knew your family.
Well, no, they didn't even offer it to them first. They offered to the
They offered to the neighbors.
First.
It was a neighbor.
We were the
thing.
runner-ups.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they left very quickly, and our pets constantly just
Yeah,
like
it's
track
seen.
things
Yeah.
in the air.
They just
And there's
look at
nothing there.
ceiling.
I'll be looking.
Yeah.
They track them and they'll meow at them
Yeah.
and they'll like stop and they'll like look at something and then they watch it.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
Yeah, and so I firmly
Why do we
believe-
have to go on a ghost hunt if we could just go here?
Yeah.
Why don't we
But I
hire a psychic, bring them into your
The
house?
Ouija board will actually, we can ask them questions and they reply yes or no. So we
I'm
actually,
just Catholic enough that a Ouija board legitimately creeps me out.
I
know,
just don't believe
creeps
it works because
me-
I've
creeps
been
me
through
out,
things where
but
I've
at
used
the
one
same
before.
time,
Oh, you have
like,
you?
Yes, I've used one before, and it very much is.
People moving it themselves.
I mean, it's
So-
subtle, you know.
I'm of two minds of it. Part of me is just like it's clearly fake, and then the other part of me is
do
like,
you believe in
what if it's not?
Yeah. Well, the thing, in my opinion, is if you have to touch the thing, it should be able to do it on its own.
True. Do you believe in mediums, the people who can talk to
Mediums.
mediums? Yeah.
I believe there are some, but I believe that 9 out of 10 of them are frauds. But I believe that every once in a while.
Yeah, there. I believe that. Like, okay, so for me personally, I consider myself agnostic. I believe there is some type of higher being, plane, something or other. It's not just what we are. But I don't know what it is, and I'm not gonna try to guess and assume. So I just live life as I can, and but I do believe that there are people who do have that access or link through some means, whether it's
Across the
trauma,
veil.
whatever it is, to be on that other side.
I
Not fully to the point where like I see ghosts, but
that you can somewhat verse with the other side. I definitely believe that.
yeah.
Because I've spoken to like a few.
Ghosts?
On Facebook, they have this group where they claim they're mediums, and I
A
asked
whole
them,
group of them.
No, I asked them a question because when our cat died, I was like, "Can anybody tell me like communicate with this cat?" And you post a picture, and someone replied, "So I see this cat is with your maternal figure, grandma, who passed on." Like, how do they know that?
Which grandma?
Maternal, so
'Cause I have a
her
grandma that
mom's
passed away.
grandmother.
And then they also
almost
said
everyone has a grandma. That
they
passed
also
away.
said don't feel guilty about the new addition. I'm guessing you're getting a new cat. How would they know that?
That's a good guess.
Okay, they're playing the odds.
Yeah.
Because most people, when the pet dies, will get a new pet.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at your profile. I don't know, do you have your birthday on your profile?
I don't think so. Maybe I do.
So if they look at that immediately off the bat, they're like, okay, you're in your mid to late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
That would put your parents conservatively in their 50s, maybe going on 60s. So their parents are going to be 70s, 80s. There's a chance they might not still be around. I'm going to take a stab in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
You're clearly upset about your pet dying, so you might be trying to fill that void. Probably getting a new pet. They're playing you. They're not playing.
I guess I want to believe it because it's like.
Yeah, and that's what they base everything on the fact that you want to believe, and that's why usually when you go to a medium, you don't ever typically hear bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because nobody wants to hear bad news.
Also, here's a good tip. If you're ever going to see a medium and you're waiting in line to get in, and someone starts talking to you about who you're hoping to hear from, you should lie to them about everything. Because sometimes they work for the medium and they use that information to get their readings. So if you lie about everything and the medium starts spouting those lies, you know it's all fraud.
I don't even know Who's Rupert?
Dang.
I think John Edwards got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah. So we did a Ouija board thing before, and you can tell it's.
You did a Ouija board before? Did it work?
No.
So the spirit didn't move your
No,
hand?
it was it's supposed to be moving the dial thing,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to be like helping or not helping, but like just following along.
The
But it
reason
doesn't-
you touch it is it's supposed to be channeling your spirit energy to help move it,
Yeah.
but it's really just so
But
that
you can see like when people move it a little bit, you see like in their hands
In
and
their
their arms, you
tension,
see a
yeah.
little tension, you see a little,
really the way you move it is you put a little computer chip in there, you put a little ball on there, and then someone else outside the room is using a remote control.
Dang.
Or you have a kid underneath the table with a magnet.
Yeah.
You believe weird things though. Like, did you tell him when you bought the love potion?
Oh yeah, it worked, but years
Not
later.
work.
No,
Hmm.
not because I dated. Remember Waterboy?
Yeah.
I was in love with the guy who like didn't want a relationship, so I
I
bought a
still
love
think it's hilarious.
potion.
I called him Waterboy. That's the name I gave him. I still do not know his real name. Don't know what it looks like. I don't want to, obviously,
Yeah.
but I think it's hilarious.
But I mean, he would come over and he'd be like, "Hey, can I have some water?"
Yeah, he'd be like, hey, I'm like 40 minutes away. I need some water. I'm gonna come by.
But it's code because he didn't want just water. He just wants.
No, everybody.
Really? Hold. You mean he didn't come here, get water, and then leave?
Hey, you mind if I stop by for a glass of water?
I routinely drive 40 minutes out of my way only to get a glass of water. Not everybody did that.
Yeah. So that's why I started calling him Waterboy.
Just the fact that you needed to preface that.
But I did buy a love potion online, And I think they had me like write a note or something and like tear it up also.
And what'd you have to write in the note?
Some like what I wanted. Like
And what'd you write though?
I don't remember, it was so long ago, but I think it was like I think I wrote his name and
well then it definitely didn't fucking work.
But no, but after we got married, then he started hitting me up again. He's like,
After we got married, he decided, hey, let me get one last crack at it.
I will also say though that statistically everybody comes back. I've not had a single relationship that didn't come back at least once.
Like he hit me
Everybody comes back
on Snapchat after he saw our like.
Yeah, no, and she told me, she was very upfront about it, and he was like, I can come over sometime.
And he's like, I can help with the invitations.
I can help with the invitations. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure that's what you want to do, buddy. No.
As long as I can get some water.
And I told her, I was like, he can come over, but I promise if I'm home and he's at that doorstep, I'm beating that shit out. I condone violence.
I condone violence. But here's my question though. So you get a love potion online. You write a note. And then what happens? A love potion implies that someone's drinking it.
So I didn't get anything physically.
Was it a love potion or was it a love spell?
It's probably a spell. It was probably a spell. It wasn't
So they sent you a piece of paper?
No, they said they were gonna, whoever it was, they were gonna conduct this spell on their own time.
Do you send it back?
Well, no, they're conducting. So she sent them, I guess, something for them to read in the spell.
Yeah. Like I have to write out the details about him, our birthdays, and
after you did all of this, did a large sum of money disappear from your bank, or did you start getting fake credit cards?
No, it was just
how much information did you give?
It was a one-time payment. I think it was like 100 or 200.
I thought it was 80.
No.
You told me 80. She told me $80.
I need to get into
this. Was it 80?
You told me 80. If it's now coming out that it was 200.
I need to get online.
Maybe it was 80.
No, now I'm thinking it was 200. And I'm downplaying the price.
I think it was 200.
Because when you said it, me and Ashley were like, what? You did what? So I think you downplayed the price.
I think it was 100. I don't think it was 80. I think it was 100.
And a little more context too for the viewers at home. I love telling the story. I actually messaged her and asked her on a date 2 years before we actually met. And she ghosted me. She said yes, and then she ghosted me. And now we're married. So just to go to show, if she could have just said, yeah, met me, and we could have been doing this already.
But I was waiting for my spell to work.
I was the runner-up, I guess. I don't know. The love of her life, her soulmate, just second place.
Here's my other question. If it had worked, how would you rationalize being with someone who's only with you because of supernatural forces?
I don't know. I think I would have done with it.
She would have not thought twice. She'd been like, hell yeah. That's what I thought. Pay good money.
There's this movie called Witchcraft. I doubt you guys have ever seen it. It's kind of an obscure Witchcraft.
Have you seen that?
It's this kind of obscure movie. This guy gets a buffalo penis in the mail.
Have not seen that one.
Okay. And it has a note that it gives him 3 wishes and then he's supposed to pass it on to somebody else. Right? Simple premise.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad movie, but I've always been bothered by the end because he reminds me of you now. So his first wish is there's this girl that he's tutoring. She's a cheerleader. She's dating the head football guy. Clearly he's a nerd and he's like, I want her. So his first wish is that she'll go to prom with him. So then she goes to prom with him. Causes problems in her relationship, but she stands firm. Go to prom with this guy. This nerd.
And the guy's like, we're dating.
Yeah. He's like, we're dating. You're the head cheerleader. I'm the captain of the football team. Why are you going out with that loser? And also, you're my girlfriend. How are you not going to prom with me? But she stands firm. She goes with him. So then he wishes that she'd fall in love with him. So then she falls in love with him. She breaks up with the football guy, starts dating him. Then things start going crazy. There's this whole guy who's trying to kill people who used to have it, and becomes your typical movie. And so his last wish is for super strength so that he can save the day and all that. And then he gives her the buffalo penis so that she can wish the love spell off. But obviously, she's in love with him. She doesn't do that. She wishes it so that they can have all this money and they can travel. She uses all the wishes for them as a couple. And it's meant to be romantic. And I'm like, no, you still took away her agency.
Yeah.
She didn't make those decisions of her own volition. She's under a spell.
Yeah.
At least he tried.
Yeah.
Like, he thought to himself, yeah, what I did, this isn't right. And then I'm going to do this. And then she was like, well, I can't change this. And then it backfired. So
I guess his heart was in the right place, but it's played as this romantic thing. Like she chose to still be in love with him, but she's not choosing. She's under a spell.
Yeah, it wasn't her like being like, oh, cool, I can choose not to. It's like, oh no, I'm already at this point.
If she wasn't under a spell, she would not have been with it.
Yeah.
100%. So how do you justify that?
I don't know. What if I ruined his life? Cause like.
Well, I don't think he was really put under a spell.
What if you ruined yours? Like you made him fall in love with you, you thought that's what you wanted, and then the rest of your life sucked.
Because now, what if he doesn't want to go after anyone else? What if he's waiting for us to get a divorce?
That's not happening. I mean this, till death do us part. I stand. Listen, the only way we're getting divorced is if one of us dies.
That's not a divorce.
You're damn right. Now you get it. It's not happening.
I don't hear from him anymore.
No, or should you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, once in a while, like I'll post a Snapchat of like the cats or like the pool, and he's like, "I'll miss your pool," and I just won't respond. But
See, I gotta keep her here. That's how that ladies
like,
take notes. Don't respond. All right, don't keep them on the back burner when you feel like you need a little bit of attention.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. Need
I just feel like it's kind of weird. It's like, okay.
I can't get into names, but someone I know knows somebody who them and their somebody broke up, and then they dated somebody else while the breakup, and then they got back with the original person, and then the other person kept calling them, and they were like, well, I have to call them back, it's rude not to, just to tell them I'm not interested. It's like, you don't need to call them to tell them you're not interested. You not responding is telling them you're not interested. You're not even ghosting them. You guys have already broken up. He's hitting you up again after that. Just ignore him. Or if you are going to tell him, be like, hey, I'm with my person. Leave me alone. Oh, I can't tell him that. Okay, like I can't deal with this.
Why not?
Yeah. Why is it a secret?
Why can't you do that? And again, it's because I've been there, right? When you do have that attention that you can fall back on, it's
Well,
nice
that's
to have
100%
that.
what it is.
It's nice to have the option. Mind you, when you're married, you shouldn't have to worry about that.
They are married.
Oh.
They'll say that.
I don't know. For me personally, something like that, I just tell the other person, tell the spouse.
Yeah, but also I don't think I'm big on you don't owe people things. So like if
that's true.
If someone from the past is like, hey, I miss you, but you've moved on, you don't owe them a response.
True.
Mm-hmm.
You could just be like, no, I'm done. That's in the past.
Yeah. You like clearly moved on.
Especially depending on how the relationship ended.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they broke up with you, why do you owe them a response if they're like, well, now I want you back? Okay, well, you had me, you let me go, deal with it.
Well, you know what they say.
Oh.
If you love them,
Let them go.
No, don't let them go. That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, that is a really weird idea. Let them go.
I think the real premise of it though is just that don't hold on so tight.
It is, yeah. It's give them the option and they'll stick around if they want to.
Yeah, I'm a big believer. I don't like jealousy, so I'm a big believer that like if the person's only staying with me because they have no other options, then they're not choosing to be with me. Like if they're like, I know there's other people, but I don't want to go find other people, then they're choosing to be.
Yeah.
But if it's like, you can't leave the house, you can't talk to anyone, you can't, like, that's not.
There's a difference between, like, on the scale of jealousy, there's that.
Yeah.
I do feel that a little bit of jealousy is healthy because it shows you that they care, right? Because, like, with her, she'll be like, hey, I'm going to hang out with these people. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then if, like, a dude's name comes up, I'm like, I've never heard that dude's name before. And then she's like, oh, it's this guy. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then that's the end of it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, mind you, a part of me is just like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
But I trust her completely. And she just says, hey, it's just a dude who used to work with us. I'm like, all right, it's cool. Like, there was that potluck, right? You said there was some dude there? Was there a potluck at your friend's house?
Yeah.
Like her house, she has like a mansion or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
You have a friend with a mansion?
Yeah, she's super rich. She has like multiple. She has a mansion and she has an Airbnb. She's
Yeah.
loaded.
Who is this person?
One of my nursing coworkers.
Why was she working?
She says she's gonna retire at like 45 or 50 or something. So she's
Yeah,
pretty
God,
good.
yeah.
So yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's about trust, obviously.
Yeah,
But,
and like you've met most of my guy friends, you know.
yeah, they'd come over at some point.
The guy who we watched his cats, he's one of the ones
Yeah.
who like we went out to eat, but as all coworkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm making an assumption here, but I'm assuming you're always invited.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily.
No.
Like, okay, so like I'm sure if she asked,
I'm sure there's
I
never
would be able to
been
come. There's never been a time where they're like, no,
Yeah.
your husband is
Oh
not
yeah,
allowed.
the potluck. I didn't really ask you, but you did ask, "Can I come?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
And I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I just want to know if I could.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
didn't think you would, because you know it's like coworkers. He's not gonna know what we're talking about.
but I'm sure there's nobody there that's
Yeah.
gonna be like, you brought your husband.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Yeah, or like, oh, why did you bring him? Like,
yeah. So that's what I'm saying too. Is what makes a difference. Is you choosing not to go is one thing.
yeah.
You being excluded is another.
Yes.
And I seriously doubt there's been a time when you've been actively excluded.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I just won't the potluck. I didn't like say that. Hey, do you want to come? Because I didn't think you would want to hang out with a bunch of strangers.
And that's because she knows me and I didn't. Not the stranger part. I just didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And it wasn't raining and stuff that day too. I think it started raining that day.
You're crazy though, because it was like, do you want to go to a mansion? Yes.
Yeah, but it's like a mansion of like a bunch of people who like, you know, they're not gonna want to talk about. They're all gonna talk about work together.
Yeah, we did was talk about the patient.
Yeah.
I just
That
want to see
were
the
on the
house.
floor.
I don't care
We
about the
talked
conversation.
about-
I'd look at the house and be like, all right, I'll be in the car.
But you're not going back to the house. And if I'm going back to her coworker's house for any reason, that doesn't look good on me. Hey, I'm going over to your friend's mansion. She invited me. I'll be back later. Doesn't sound great.
She's
That's
married, so.
I don't stop people.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm just saying, it doesn't.
I just want to see a mansion and be inside one.
Yeah. When I first moved to Texas, in Dallas, I had a sugar mama. She was a doctor, MD, worked with pediatrics, and she was married, and I was her side piece. She would pick me up. She would pay for all of our meals. And yeah, it was like a whole thing. And she was married.
That's nice.
And she told me, she was like, yeah, my husband knows. And, you know, he likes the idea of it and this and that.
Oh, so she wasn't even cheating. She
No,
had an
no.
arrangement.
No, that's what she told me.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And then a few weeks later, she's like, hey, I deleted everything we ever said to each other. I'm going to message you and ask you something, and I need you to say, like, no, this didn't happen. Or just play it off like nothing's going on between us. And then she deleted, like, everything, I guess, again, like, from that message point. And then I did get a message, like, I don't know, 3 hours later or something like that, like, hey, want to meet up? And I'm like, oh, haven't seen you in a long time. You know? And, like, that was the last time that I ever, like, was involved in something like that, because I was like, oh, no.
She just lied to you.
Yeah.
But it did feel nice being a broke guy, getting everything paid for, and going out to nice restaurants. I will say that.
That is nice.
As I say, as a woman, you probably don't understand how nice it is, but like,
Yeah, 'cause
you know how nice it is, but you don't realize like how nice it is for us, because girls don't go up to guys and say, "Hey, can I take you out?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm gonna go to this restaurant. No, I got it." You know what I mean? Like that doesn't really happen in today's age.
My ex would just order us food though. That was nice. She would always pay for food. She'd just be like, "Oh, I ordered this food," and I'm like, "Cool." That's cool.
But girls do have it easier. I remember when I was on a dating app, some guy was like, "Hey, I'll pay you like $1,000 if you just like go out with me." Or I forgot exactly what he said, but
It's called an escort.
I thought it was creepy, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's called an escort.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
to be fair, escorts don't have to sleep with you.
No.
I mean, I'm sure there's some expectation of it.
But technically what you're paying for is their company.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was some really, really, really old guy who was not attractive at all.
Yeah. In that case, he probably was just lonely,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for all those out there who may be looking for love, I will let you know, dating sites do work. Me and Liz met on OkCupid, all right, twice. And it works. It does work. You just gotta apply yourself.
You just have to go through all the bad.
Yeah, it's two different experiences.
Yeah.
For women, it's oh my god, I have 1,000 messages. Let me find out who's not sexually harassing me and see if I have the energy left over after that's done to reply to them.
It's definitely.
And then for men, it's I really hope she gets to my message.
Because we matched, but I deleted the app because there were so many guys who were just like messaging me and I was not interested in it and it was kind of annoying. And that's why I deleted it because I was like, man.
And there's only 2 rules you have to follow. And people are going to think that they're very obvious, but they're not. The rules are be attractive. Don't be unattractive. And that doesn't mean pure looks, all right? When I say don't be unattractive, it does mean don't be misogynistic. Don't be rude. Don't
be clingy.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that'll make somebody unattractive, or in today's day they call it the ick, right? There's a lot of these things that are not just based on your physical appearance that are very unattractive.
Mm-hmm.
So, 2 rules to follow.
If I was gonna get on one, I'd want to do one of those ones where the women make the first move, because just messaging random women online.
Bumble, I think.
So
Bumble.
It is Bumble, but funny, check this out. The whole point of Bumble was that women message men first. It gives women the control of the situation. It lets them take charge. Men can't just randomly message them. But mind you, for guys, we hear this all the time. We need more than just hey. We need more than what's up or how's your night doing. Women always say that they want more than that. Well, on Bumble, they're actually changing it so that either side can message first now, because women were complaining that it's a bit stressful and difficult to message.
No, wait, hold on.
And you can look it up.
Putting
online.
yourself out there, trying to start a conversation with a complete stranger is stressful.
Yeah.
No, I would never have guessed.
So, everyone kind of laughed at it. It's like, well, you guys are now in our shoes and you understand, but will you give anybody that break now when they do just say something simple?
Because honestly, I just feel like going on a dating site and being like, I went on it once and I did it for like a day, like trying to mess people and like write things, and I was just like, I don't like this.
It's really difficult because there's a lot of people who are just way out there.
I like my method
You
of
just
dating.
have to give it a chance.
Yeah. I like my method of dating. It just takes a long time in between dates, but I live my life, and then randomly a woman comes up and is like, I like you. And then either I say, cool, I like you too, or I go,
see that happening these days.
Yeah, you really don't.
Unless you are always out.
Listen, I before we got married and we met and everything like that, I was very outgoing. I was out with friends. I was going to the clubs. I mean, we were just having parties. I was always meeting new people. I was just all sorts of stuff all the time. I was like never home. Met tons of people, but didn't really do anything with them. Things like that. It literally just lets you have access to people that you wouldn't normally be in their circles.
That's fair.
Like I said, your soulmate will never be in your circle and you'll never know. And you'll just be waiting for them, but they're literally 1 block away.
Yeah.
So it's got to walk down the street and start knocking on doors. Hi.
Yeah.
Someone my age, can I date her? No? Okay.
Someone
my age.
buddy, can date her house.
That's true, yeah.
Someone my age?
Well, because you don't know. You don't know.
You never know.
I guess.
Yeah.
We are moving back to generational households. Like as a country, we really are moving back to generational households.
Yeah.
It's like rare when people are living by themselves.
I mean, with the exception of You guys, I don't know many people who have their own
Yeah.
place.
And again, she got extremely
I got
lucky,
really lucky.
that she could stay with her parents
Yeah.
while she was working.
Oh, that wasn't luck. That was her dad's determination to be
That is
like,
true. He did say,
Oh,
"You're
yeah.
not moving out." He
My
did
dad-
say.
She rented an apartment and
Yeah.
he canceled it that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, if
He's
you
like,
move
no.
out, I'm not talking to you. We're not gonna have a good relationship.
He was
He was so bad.
He was like, you're gonna have a house or nothing. And
Yeah.
he made sure. Hey, but look, it
Good
worked
father.
out.
It is a great
Yeah.
father. Let me tell you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I mean, we are very much, and I think people aren't really realizing that, but we're going into generational households.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed. Unless something drastic is done, that's where it's headed. It's not at my apartment complex. It's generational.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's
The grandmother, the parent, and the kids.
kids. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's just what it is.
I
now.
mean, to be fair, me growing up, that's literally how I did grow up, though, because I
Yeah.
stayed with my grandparents, and my dad stayed there with us. He was divorced from my mom, but
yeah,
it was me, my brother, my sister, and then him in our grandparents' house. And then when my grandma split from my grandpa, we moved up north, maybe like 80 miles, and she got her own house up there. And my dad lived up there with us.
yeah.
And she got that house because she wanted a place that we could be that was like stable.
To stay with. And so I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think that's where we're going.
Yeah, for sure. And there's definitely nothing wrong with it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm the man I am today because of my grandma. She's
Yeah.
like the most influential person in my life, hands down. So.
The American dream of having your own house is kind of a fiction.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Mhm.
No.
Unless you live in the Midwest. Midwest homes are very cheap. You can get like a nice 3-bedroom for like $100,000.
100,000?
There are like mansions that are like $350,000.
I don't know. Part of me thinks just buy a bunch of land in the country and then build your own house.
You can. The issue with that though is like getting good like electricity out there. Not electricity, but good internet and stuff.
Good Wi-Fi.
Like, if
Especially since my job
But
is
if you're
online.
building your own house, you should have the extra like 20, 35,000 to get the label or the cable like put in.
Yeah. Be interesting to see where everything goes.
Yeah.
But I think this was a fun episode. We got to meet you, got to learn more about your love story.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I'm Jonathan.
Zelda,
And Nino.
And give us legends.
All right.
give us more mediums.
Mediums.
I'll connect with the other side.
Do you want to try one? She always says something random.
Give me more money.
More money.
That's for everyone out there too. Y'all can get some of that.
That's a good